Let us see about DSP fixed and floating point architecture. While we are seeing the DSP architecture, it is broadly classified into two types, that is the floating point architecture and fixed point architecture. First we can see floating point architecture. Here the floating point architecture, it starts with C3X family, that is it is a 32-bit floating point chip DSP processor. It includes C30, C31 and C32 family. And also the main advantage of using this floating point processor is it will be analysis the finite word length effects such as quantization error, overflows, second of that is a round of errors and limit cycle oscillation, and also coefficient quantization error. Hence, there is no need to scale the inputs, and to avoid the overflow, shift the accumulator result to accommodate the word size of DAC and also scale the filter coefficient. Here, this is the architecture of floating point architecture, that is this is the block diagram for floating point architecture. It consists of the bus structures and also online CPU, that is DMA unit, peripherals, and also on-chip memories, and also the memories, there is on-chip memories and on-chip peripherals. Now we can see the functional features of floating processor. Some of the important key features of the floating point processor are as follows. There is one, there is 4K cross 32-bit single cycle dual access on-chip read-only memory block is also available, and two, 1K cross 32-bit single cycle dual access on-chip random access memory blocks are also available. And also it consists of 64 cross 32-bit instruction cache, 32-bit instruction and data words, and 24-bit addresses, and 32-bit barrel register shifter, 40 cross 32-bit floating point integers and multipliers, and ALO. That's about the floating point architecture. Next one is fixed point architecture. Here this is the fixed point architecture. While we are seeing this fixed point architecture, this starts with C50 series, that is, and also the fixed point architecture. Here it basically consists of 4 units, that is the bus structures, on-chip memories, on-chip peripherals, and also this CPU. Here, while we are seeing this bus structures, it separates this program and data buses in the advanced hardware architecture of C5X maximizes the processing power and provide the high degree of parallelism. And also it includes the control mechanism to manage the interrupt, repeated operations, and function calling. And here the C5X architecture has 4 buses, that is the program bus, program address bus, program data read bus, data read address bus. While we are seeing the program bus, that it carries the instruction code and immediate operands from data program memory to the CPU. And next one is the program address bus. It provides addresses to program memory space for both the read and write operations. And the data read bus, it interconnects various elements of the CPU to data memory space. And the data read address bus, it provides the address to access the data memory space. And the second one is, that is the central processing unit. While we are seeing the CPU, that is consists of the following elements, that is the central arithmetic logic unit to perform the logical functions, and the parallel logic unit is also perform the parallel logical functions for the signed and unsigned numbers. And next one is the access register arithmetic unit. It consists of 8 access registers. And also next one is the memory map register, and last one is the program controller. While we are seeing this on-chip memory, the on-chip memory, it consists of, it has the total memory address, that is range of 224 cross words cross 16 bits, and then memory space divided into 4 memory segments, that is 64K, that is word program memory space, 64K word local data memory space, 64K word input and output ports. And the larger on-chip memory of C5X includes program ROM, data and program single access memory, data and program dual access memory. On-chip peripherals. The on-chip peripherals interfaces connected to the C5X CPU includes the clock generators, that is the hardware timer, software programmable weight state register generators, general purpose input output pins, parallel I/O ports, and the serial port interface, buffered serial port, time division multiplex, serial port, host port interference, and also the user unmask interrupts. These are about the fixed point architecture. Thank you.